Good evening, free enterprise fans. How we all doing tonight? My name is Moonblaze Wolf. I am back in the commentary booth tonight, joined by Zoe Vermillion, and we have got a race for you all tonight between Twisted Flax and LockeColeLive. Twisted Flax is playing for a chance to move on to the round of 16. LockeColeLive is at 1-4, just playing for pride tonight, but I'm sure is going to also put in a good performance and a good show for everybody here. Zoe, what do you think looking at our starting setup here?
This is gonna be pretty interesting. Our readiest start. You starting off with the grand total of 30 hit points. Always fun to see that. Hopefully you find an early dancing dagger or a good hob summon and a way to get some MP. But these objectives, I don't hate these. Nothing that screams the moon is required. If anything, it screams the moon might be haunted. But we are gonna need both routes underground effectively in the form of the hook for that rat tail and the magma key, unless we decide to forge.
Yeah, this could be a pretty interesting run for sure, kind of looking over things here. Like you pointed out, one of our objectives is going to be at least half completed by our route underground. But everything here is key item based. So if we get the hook route underground, maybe the magma key's on the moon. If we get the magma key route, maybe the rat tail or the hook is on the moon. And then of course we still have to account for either the Luca key or the legend sword plus adamant. So this could be a little bit of a scavenger hunt. I'm really looking forward to this actually.
Yeah, and especially if we get something like an early magma key and an early darkness crystal, and it just starts to open up all of those checks. Where do you go? What do you have? We could see some pretty divergent routes unless the seed decides to funnel our runners down the same required path into these key items.
Yeah, and I think the Darkness Crystal will be a very interesting key item to see in this seed as well, depending on when and where it shows up, because there's nothing, as you pointed out, in this objective list that says you have to go to the moon. But with so many key items to find, it's very possible that the moon is required. So it'll be interesting to see how our runners balance things like level grinding, maybe their early party with that grind in mind, and then also when do you pull the trigger on going to the moon if you do need to find maybe like that last key item. So I think this could be a really good one. Buckle up, everybody.
Yeah, and if we do get the early darkness crystal, then it also is a question of what characters do we have? Does that enable our grind? Did we find a Tela? Did we find equipment to do a max out grind? Or are we going to have to see one of these unconventional grinds, like a sealed door grind, once we find that Luca key, or even something like what I've been hoping to see this entire time, like a good old clapper grind, or even like worst case scenario, something like an arachnid grind.
Yeah, it's hard to say. We've gotten very accustomed to seeing the D machine grind, I think, in this format. At least for like the long haul sort of grind. So maybe we'll have something else present itself tonight. I also have to agree with Solaris in chat pointing out that if it is a hook seed and we do the magma key objective, we will get that fantastic flavor text, which I will not share. We'll let it be a surprise for everybody if they have not seen it before.
Yeah, it's a fantastic little Easter egg. We have the King and Queen of Evelyn handing over a twin harp, and I swear we were just having a conversation in the Discord in the newbies corner about the worst possible starting characters, and Eddie and Rydia together were proposed as one of the possible worst, just because of the incredibly low HP and attack strength without like dancing daggers or something. So I think our restreamer might have been lurking on that conversation.
Yeah, this is definitely not a start that you want to see. I guess in one sense it is better at least that we get to keep we are forced to keep the Rydia as opposed to the Edward, because you know that Edward is really not going to be particularly useful in this format. We can make good work of Rydia all throughout the seed, but as you said, they're very similar in a lot of ways, especially early on. But Rydia just has a lot more going for her pretty much all throughout the run. Oh hey, it's another Edward.
And a Sid is enjoying a nice brunch with the Elements. Elements is pretty, well, most bosses are a pretty big joke at that particular location, but that Sid could become important. Sid being a good source of early game damage and a good HP pool. has really kind of jumped to near the top of the list of early game characters for these runners, especially with that poison axe that we just found here in the watery pass.
Yeah, I was going to call that out as well. Good spot. Because we will expect to see both of our runners looting this watery pass, looking for some better items because the watery pass is considered out of the way. So it does get a higher chance of getting tier 5 and even a very slim chance of getting a tier 6 item, I believe. Whereas a lot of the other open and available treasure looting options at the beginning of the game are limited to tier 4 and below.
Yeah, definitely a good spot for early looting. Without something like Tella, though, or a lucky pull of a exit J item, typically don't see more than the front and maybe fly over and check the back, because of just the huge time investment, and it's a very big gamble, and all you're going to be getting is loot.
It's true. And I have to say, after seeing Locke go through Dempsey in here, I've switched from hoping for a Sid to hoping for a Kane, because Locke pulled an Ice Brand and a Dwarf Axe during that Dempsey looting run. So pretty well set up. I think I just saw Twisted Flax get a crystal ring as well, or was that a crystal armor?
That was an armor. So that was the money armor, or cover strats armor if you want to go that route. Yeah, so it's going to be pretty interesting who we see here. And another one of the characters that was floated as possibly bad early game is that Porum. Without Palom, she doesn't really have much offensive firepower. Palom would turn on the twin spell, but her herself, unless you get something like a really good bow and some arrows, isn't going to be doing much damage here at the start of this run.
Yeah, with Porum, you really need to find something like a Heroine Robe or an Elven Bow to really get her going, because she can't use the Dancing Dagger, which is the one nice thing about like Iridia and Edward. So Rydia gets a not awful summon here, that Indra summon. The free summon on Hobbs, which we don't see very often in this format, but in this case with a Rydia start, we did get a chance to take a look at that.
Yeah, and Indra is pretty good. Lightning Elemental Summon, otherwise known as Ramu, in like every other game. So not going to be super bad. That was a DKC. I didn't see who the boss was.
Yeah, I missed it as well. I'm not sure if anybody in chat saw it, but yeah, DKC, man, we are just we are coming up empty on the free characters. Chasman Sango's a mom bomb, so.
Oh, okay, so a little bit of vanilla. I approve.
And also Velvalis taking a shower, washing out all that hair in the waterfall. Twisted Flax pointing that out to us. So, boy, not really a lot to be excited about in this seed so far, other than the gear that we don't have any characters for yet.
I don't know. I'm personally pretty happy about that Velvalis in the waterfall. Don't have to fight that anywhere nasty later. Locke, checking the free characters in Mysidia, finds a second Iridia, but also a Rosa. Probably the preferred white mage for late game. Has better HP pool, better overall stats, better late game spell curve, I would say, than Porum. Porum's utility is definitely the fact that she gets Berserk super early and has natural access to the exit spell instead of needing to clear the Tower of Zot to get it.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice find, and really we just need like one more solid character to maybe make it through here this early game. But a tricky thing about this part of the seed is I see what LockeCole did there. We'll talk about that in just a second. Good spot there by Locke. But you really want to get 3 party members to get through this early part of the seed, because no matter how it goes, if we end up with an opportunity to do an early slingshot, you need 3 characters that have that higher median to create the level spread that you need. So you really want to invest in 3 characters early on. So,
yeah, absolutely. Locke is going to dive Castle Ublin a bit. Doesn't really have any sort of party strength to get rid of any of these trap chests, but might be hoping to pull some loot out of the non-trap chests, just because of there being trap chests. They have a higher loot curve as well. And I said trap chests a lot there, so I'm going to say it once more: trap chests.
it's hard to say. It's hard to say a lot. They do kind of. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. Trap chests. Oh man, Locke is finding all of them. I have to say I really like this play though from Locke, because what you're really hoping for here is probably some sort of good bow, or maybe like a heroine robe or a Stardust Rod, all of which you could potentially find in one of these free chests. And you haven't really seen anything too excited or too exciting yet from any of your other options. It does get a Sorcerer's Robe there, which is going to be good for defense, if nothing else. I like Twisted Flax's play here as well. Looks like going to check that free Ordeals character. If this is a useful character, I really like the way Twisted Flax has routed this here.
Yeah, gonna be able to check this out. Might grab a couple of the chests here. Does find a Sid. I can personally imagine taking this one right away. You've got that Poison Axe in hand. That's going to kind of set you up for the rest of this early game. That Sorcerer Robe that Locke found is going to be pretty nice. Not only is it really good defensively, it's also very good on the magic stats, giving +5 to both Wisdom and Willpower. It is Viridia's best in slot as far as chest armor goes, so definitely a really good find.
Yeah, but we are seeing a little bit of the downside of this Eblin Castle dive is I believe Locke has run into all 3 trap chests now, so is going to be able to loot all the stuff that he wants, but has spent quite a bit of time here, whereas Twisted Flax has found a useful 3rd character in that Sid, and is now already moving on to a key item check here in Antlion. So I mean, Locke can still get some good momentum with the loot, as well as the amount of money that it's going to give him later on. So it's certainly not a total bust, but I suspect if you told Locke prior to doing that, hey, there's a Sid waiting for you on Mount Ordeals, may have wanted to go do that instead.
I 100% agree. Now done with the looting of Castle Eblin. Not a ton to note other than the Sorcerer Robe. A few handy pieces of gear here and there depending on who he adds to his party. But now both of our runners are in Antlion. Twisted Flax has a bit of a lead, is down here in the save area. And we will soon be seeing the first boss that our runners will actually face and not just set out of.
Yeah, and we're getting someone in chat pointing out Locke apparently reset out of the Sorcerer Robe, so that's too bad. So, but we'll see what we got here with Antlion, and you know, hopefully something that shouldn't be too bad for either of our runners here.
And that is the Queen of Summons herself, Asura. Not going to be too bad here. If you can get out the 1,000 damage or so before she starts to heal. Has mute bows on Rydia, so yeah, this should be fine.
Yeah, I saw
mute arrows on Rosa. Blah.
Yeah, you got it. And I think Locke also has those mute arrows, so this shouldn't be too bad for him, but he might have to do some sort of life lock in order to get through this fight, just because I don't know if it's going to go as smoothly for him with the chunks of damage otherwise. And Twisted Flax picks up the package, which is an interesting option. I mean, Zoe, what do you think? Do you want to go check that package right now?
I would peek the character. You're still relatively in the area. You could see something like an Edge. You could see a Tella. There's a couple of different characters there that you would be willing to go through that package cutscene for. I like this. And I wouldn't necessarily go all the way through it just to peek for Demus this early, but then I would keep that in the back of my head if I am struggling to find checks. Okay, maybe let's go look and see if there's a Demus hiding in Kaipo.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I know I saw in Locke's inventory a ninja sword and a boomerang, so I mean, checking for Edge does seem pretty... like, you would be really incentivized to do that right now. So, especially with Locke not having found a 3rd character yet, it would not surprise me if he went and checked it. I think Twisted Flax is probably pretty comfortable with his party right now, though.
I would have to agree. The only thing that Twisted would probably want would be that Tella. But an Edge on Locke's side would be pretty huge and might allow him to get through some of these fights faster than Twisted and his Sid. Like this CPU fight, This is pretty nice in Fabul, especially if you've already backroad this Sid.
Yeah, this is a fight that Twisted Flax is going to be not have any problems with, whereas Locke may struggle a little bit more.
And Locke going straight over to check the package. It is a Dark Knight Cecil. There is the reset. Okay.
Well, that actually brings me back to something I noticed a few minutes ago, and I think I know where Locke is going to go next here, except maybe still going to check the Ordeals character first. But Locke picked up a black sword in one of the shops, and we know that there is a Dark Knight Cecil on Mount Hob. So I think he's going to see the Cid here and be pretty happy with that. But if that wasn't the case, it would not have surprised me to see him go and pick up that Dark Knight Cecil to wield a black sword from Hobbs there and get a nice chunk of XP on his characters as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed that black sword purchase as well and figured that was exactly his plan. But with this Cid in the party, I no longer think that is going to happen. But he is going to continue upward deals here with that Cid in hand. A second Poison Axe in case you hadn't found the first. So we'll be getting the first of our 3 Ordeals boss checks here momentarily.
This party can hold so many Cids, let me tell you. We know there's a second Cid in Baron, which is not a bad piece of information for our runners to have, but not a Tella in sight, and that is going to be tricky. A Locke with probably a pretty nice find here, finding the Maga Sisters. I think this is a fight that he is going to be able to handle without too much difficulty, although that Rosa going down is definitely not the way you want to start it out. But I think this shouldn't be too bad for Locke here. Not a lot of damage output coming from the sisters. And you got that Cid who can survive most everything right now. But it would be really nice if they stopped going after Rosa with the mute arrows there. Meanwhile, Twisted Flax got a Charm Rod for the Fabul defense. So no progression there. So we're still looking for some stuff here. And it'll be interesting to see where Twisted Flax goes from here. I think the Ordeals play is always pretty popular, but at the same time, Flax might be feeling good enough to take on Baron in, and we know there is not a Tella anywhere in sight right now, so... But we do see Locke making his way through this Maga Sisters fight without too much trouble here. And even the charm missing. So yeah, we're going to be okay. Hopefully going to get the XP on those characters as well. You definitely don't want to miss out on that right now. Rydia doing a good White Mage impression there in the middle. And Twisted Flax, meanwhile, is checking up on Silvera. Probably headed to Mount Ordeals as well, if I was to guess. Is a check ahead right now, but it didn't really turn into anything. So still hunting for that underground access. We do still have that Twin Harp as well, so our underground access could be at the Twin Harp in this seed. We're gonna get our first check here of the Mist Cave boss. And it is the officer-soldier fight, so not what you want to see there as well. So I guess we saw Valvalis at the waterfall. That is a rough boss fight that we don't mind seeing. And then we saw the Kaipo guards fight there, which is not something that you want to see. So our restreamer Ground Flyer, who rolled the seat as well, keeping it perfectly balanced, we might say. Oh, and Locke has gotten into a rough fight here. Although Sid's looking pretty tanky, but Evil Wall at this spot is very scary. He's gonna have a lot of speed, gonna close in on you pretty fast. I think Sid's gonna be able to handle this no problem with that Poison Axe, but yeah, that's a little bit scary when it first pops up for sure. Meanwhile, Twisted Flax has checked the package character, said no thank you to another Dark Knight Cecil, and yep, gonna go check on Ordeals here. It'll be interesting to see if Twisted Flax can catch up to Locke a little bit as well. Not so much with the equipment and the party. I think they are both pretty... They've pretty much equalized on that front, but Flax does have a little bit of a XP advantage here from having done that Fabul defense and picking up about an extra 5,000 XP for the party.
Yeah, plus that Charm Rod is going to go nicely on Rydia. Once you can get access to some more spells, but it will pair nicely with that the Indra Summon, to be sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is one thing that unfortunately for Locke didn't really get to use that Indra Summon at all during this Mega Sisters fight because they were just going after Rosa all over the place, and I think if Flax can get a little more lucky with the board face RNG here, should be able to throw out an Indra or two and really add some extra damage. And as I say that, the board face AI takes over and says, no way.
You summoned it. Come on.
It happens. Locke doing a great job getting through that evil wall fight, by the way. That is, like I said, that is no joke.
Yeah.
that party is looking a little sad over there, but manages to make it through.
Evil wall at that spot. You lose pretty much a couple of turns to him to moving closer to your party just from the get-go by virtue of being in that back attack slot. So to get it down, that is well done. And Locke is going to show us what key item is here and what boss is waiting here in the mirror room. Not taking a save, hoping for no wyvern.
Yeah, that's a little interesting. Flax, meanwhile, took a dive to the Mega Sisters. I think there was a charm on Sid that may have contributed to that. Actually nopes all the way back out of Ordeals to go check Baron here, while Locke does not get the underground access, but does get a Sand Ruby.
Yeah, do you want more character checks? Because now we have another character check. And also, it was a Lunar Sparkle, so it was almost a heart attack, but it's just D-Lunars, so this is fine.
Yeah, we good. But yeah, Locke is preparing for more not edge and more disappointment, I'm sure, at that, because I don't think either runner knows who's in that Kaipo bed. So
yeah, I don't believe either runner has made their way over to Kaipo. Fortunately, this will pull Locke over there to check that, and while he's there, I imagine he checks the shops. There's a few things on the overworld that our runners really want to know where they're at. Life potions in particular, Star Veils are another big one. There's other things like Thor Rages and Ethers, if you end up needing to do a D-Machine grind, that are very important.
And Flax finds the Antlion in that second spot. This is not a fun fight. I fear for Twisted Flax here a little bit. This is going to be kind of unpleasant.
I don't think this is going to be too bad. You have Antlion, who is very punchy, and this spot is also very punchy. But the only character that you're going to be really using to trigger the counter is Sid, and this spot is incredibly slow. So if you could keep that Rydia alive, I think she may have just burned all of her MP on that one Indra, though. So
yeah, I think if I saw his menu correctly, Flax had enough MP for two Indras, but does have some Ether ones as well. I think you need to kind of commit one way or the other, because like you said, you do really want to make sure that you manage the or take advantage of the fact that this is a very slow spot.
Yeah, unfortunately, Twisted Flax has Cure 2s for multiple seeds. We'll have spot healing for forever, having over 70 in the inventory at one point. I think now we're down to 69 with this one here.
Nice. So there was a Palom in the Kaipo bed, and I guess Locke didn't wake Palom up, or did wake Palom up and then dismiss him? I
walked away. I saw that it was a Palom. Like, he walked in, realized it was a twin, backed away, went a little closer. Looked like a Palom to me, just based off of a few small tells that I've learned ever since starting this game, but then left. So I have to wonder if he still thought it was a Porum, or if he just has no interest in the Palom in the long term. Because if you're going to use it for a slingshot, you can at least trigger the joined and pick him up later in the Tower of Wishes.
Yeah, and that's why I was a little confused by what Locke chose to do there. But it does, you know, these things happen, and, you know, probably can still go get that Palom back later. It would have probably been a little bit more optimized or ideal to pick up that Palom at that point, even if you don't necessarily want him in the party right away. And both of our runners have taken a dive to that very rude antlion now, which, like I kind of said, that is no joke. Like, that spot hits hard. You don't have a particularly tanky party. I think the key for both of our runners to get through that spot is going to be to figure out how to manage the speed of that fight and just keep the damage flowing. Might be a little bit to grind it out, but I think they both have the tools to make it possible.
Yeah, I think chat was pointing out that it looks like Twisted Flax may have miscounted the amount of HP at that spot and tried to kamikaze for the win, because it has a pretty gigantic HP pool, and just didn't get the damage out to finish it off, and was at a point where recovery wasn't feasible.
Oof, yeah, that's tough. That spot has 4,000 hit points. It's actually, that's one of the few that's really easy for me to remember. But yeah, must have just miscounted a little bit, like you said.
Yeah, between the two Indras, you'll be getting out about 11 to 1,200 damage. Sid's swinging in for a cool 400 or so. So, judging by my math, you would need about 5 swings from Sid before you want to throw that kamikaze, if Sid is at full health.
Yeah, I like the way Flax is managing it this time with the... Basically, Rosa's gotten down to like less than 10 hit points twice now. So just at that magical amount of defense where you take 290 damage, but not 298 damage, clearly. And yeah, you just have to kind of manage this fight, I think. And it looks like Flax is doing an excellent job of that here.
Yeah, got a good rhythm. Indra on Rydia, using Ether 2s with Rosa, using Cure 2s with Sid when Rosa gets whacked, and just hoping that Rydia doesn't. And before anyone in chat says it, I know we're not playing Dragon Warrior. It's fine.
And Locke has taken out the big bad computer here, attacking the more traditional folks in Fabul, and no problem, as it looks like. We're gonna figure out though that not the key that we are looking for. Might still be Twin Harp. We might see behind this antlion pretty soon here from Twisted Flax, if this is in fact the way underground.
Yeah, things are gonna get pretty interesting if it is behind that Twin Harp. Again with the kamikaze, not quite getting it. Let's see if we get this Indra off. Going for a run buffer, gets the right board face AI. Might get through this. All right. Well done.
And yep, we're going to Twin Harp, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to Twin Harp. Twin Harp could still not be it, because it could still be the Dream demist at Maga Sisters.
Or demist at the Twin Harp, or the package spot. So we have two options there, but yeah, most likely it's the Twin Harp. But you got to feel good about having that pan before you get underground if you're Twisted Flax, because you just know once you get under there, once you get underground, you got those 3 free checks waiting for you.
Absolutely. Now with this party in particular, you still don't have a lot of damage output. Twin Harp, depending on who's there, could be a bit of a wall. Has ridiculous M-Def, so even Indra with Rydia is not going to be doing anything. You just gotta hope that Sid can hit whatever's there for a reasonable amount of damage, and hope that whatever's there doesn't also use magic, because it also has a really high magic power.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely want. One thing I've noticed is Twisted Flax has done a very good job of checking shops and everything so far. I don't think has found a really good offensive loadout for Rosa, but that's another thing that would definitely help right now. Does pick up a Dancing Dagger for Rosa, or I'm sorry, for Rydia, if he wants to make a second run at Ordeals, which, as you'll recall, he did not finish.
Correct. LockeColeLive here in Cave Magnes. Deciding to do a bit of looting. You still don't have a ton of power on this party. I do not disagree with this. I'm still curious because Twisted Flax also peeked the Kaipo bed, and I'll be curious once he gets that Sand Ruby if he comes back for that Palom or also similarly fades it.
Yeah, that's both of them now that have kind of left. And to me, like, I mean, we've seen one Rydia, right? Aside from
2, we found the one in Mysidia as well.
So if there's two, well, I mean, if it was me, I would rather have a Palom and a Rydia. If I was going to grab 2 characters to slingshot, but
I feel like chat's trying to get us to be quiet because DJ Spoony B is about to spin us a wonderful song on this harp, so I'll be quiet.
Yeah, we'll be quiet. Locke went really fast there.
Yeah, that was.
So Zoe, you've gone through the song a couple times now. Do you think it's okay if we talk about how awful this fight is?
I think we're fine. I think we're okay to talk. So this plague here, as you saw with that intro hitting for 1 damage, is going to have basically, I think, 254 magic defense. Hey, luck gets through. So yeah, it's slow and painful. Plague is obnoxious more than anything. You have no idea how much I wanted when that Lunar Sparkle appeared, how much I wanted it to be a Wyvern to prove that this was not going to be the route and force us to check the package or Mega Sisters. But this rabbit hole continues into Baron Key.
Yeah, and you know what? I was thinking that too. I saw that and I was like, ooh, Wyvern, maybe we're going demist hunting. But no, it was Plague. And then I was like, ooh, Plague, this fight's gonna be really hard for Locke. And he managed it incredibly well.
Yeah, the Kamikaze to get the huge chunk of damage as well as the early deaths to get the life up. Using that lit one with Iridia after realizing that Indra wasn't going to be doing anything to get her down. It was very well executed on Locke's part, but it is a slow spot unless you have kind of physical power overwhelming or have a caster all the way to nuke to get through that super high MDef.
Yeah, and I think there was a moment of, I don't want to say that Locke got lucky because he played that fight incredibly well, but there was a moment where his Rydia went down where I don't think he meant Rydia to go down, where the count went off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that actually saved the fight for him.
I completely agree. Locke is now going to be heading over to Baron Castle. So we know that King Queen Emblem is at the Bygone spot, so that's going to be free. No idea who is on the throne. We could still run into something like a Wyvern or Golbez, which would tell us this is not the intended route underground. And for anyone wondering in chat, the Odin spot is now accessible, but due to the difficulty of that spot, it also cannot be the intended route underground, regardless of the boss that is there.
Yeah, and Locke does also get an opportunity to go into that gated Baron shop, but I did not really see anything worth getting there, unfortunately, for him.
Not much to write home about, but I was about to ask if he was planning on looting some of the Baron sewer here. Find some more mute arrows and a Grimoire. The Grimoire is RNG incarnate. You could pull a Bahamut or you can pull a Chocobo 10 times in a row. See if it ends up mattering. Gonna grab this chest as well.
Meanwhile, oh no, there it is. I was gonna say the evil wall is closing in on Twisted Flax, and is he gonna be able to kill it before Crush Phase? And the answer is no.
No?
Question mark?
Are we stuck? We might be stuck on a reset or a stream hiccup. We will check back in with Flex here in a moment. As there's the reset. And Locke makes it to the save room, saves, because even if you know that first fight's a free fight, you don't know what's on the second. And you don't want to necessarily rewalk this entire sewer, especially when you've done looting.
I think that was just a moment of I need to compose myself here, because that's a really tough way to go there for Twisted Flax. But you know, he knows it's here now. He's going to be a little bit more prepared. I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah, this seed has been presenting some interesting roadblocks. As I feel for the runners, but as viewers and commentators, my hat goes off to our restreamer Groundflyer. I'm proud of you, friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna translate that. This is one of the rudest overworlds I have ever seen that didn't involve like a non-required boss. So like, these are all of the bosses where if you find them in other spots, maybe like the lower level spots, not so bad. But boy, if you see them on the backside of that Ordeals Bridge, if you see them at the Twin Harp spot, if you see them as that second spot of the Baron Inn, that is not fun for any runner.
Especially when all we're walking around with is a Stid, a Rosa, and a Iridia, and we don't necessarily have any of their like kind of game-changing equipment.
Yeah, and let's remember as well, like we saw Locke full loot, although he did forget the Sorcerer Robe, but he did full loot Eblin Castle, so it's not like the runners haven't given themselves a lot of opportunities to, you know, maybe gear up in a way that mitigates some of this rudeness, but they've been trying. It is not for a lack of effort on the part of either of our runners that they haven't been able to down some of these extremely difficult bosses. And then there's King Queen Evelyn.
Yeah. I looked away. It's a little hot in my apartment. I was cooling myself down with a fan, and by the time I was done, it was done too. So.
Were you being dragged down to Hades in your apartment temporarily?
Feels like it. It's pretty hot here on the West Coast for the middle of October. So.
I can report that here in North Dakota, it is exactly as cold and awful as it's supposed to be in the middle of October. So, working as intended.
And it looks like a little bit of FF1 inspiration here. I think we've got Astos on the throne. Dark Elf, for those that don't have a girlfriend who plays a lot of FF1. So yeah.
Indeed. This is a oh, never mind.
Oh,
That's gonna help. I was just about to comment. This is another really like for a fit for a boss spot. Dark Elf is surprisingly challenging here. But I think Locke is gonna have this just fine now, with the help of his King of the Dragons friend.
Yeah, like I feel like I just mentioned it a few moments ago. Like that Grimoire can give you a Bahamut or 10 chocobos in a row. Locke pulled the Bahamut, and that was a very clutch Grimoire roll. Also, the poison proc showing that Dark Elf second form, doesn't have the boss bit, is vulnerable to all sorts of status effects.
Goes down here, and let's see what the payout is. We know Locke is on the right path now. Has built up a pretty nice lead on Twisted Flax here, because of some of the boss difficulty that Flax has had. And Locke had some as well, but
trader.
has been able to kind of persevere. And hey, it's a trader.
That cane is pretty okay. We have a Dwarf Axe. We have a second Poison Axe, I believe, that LockeCole found. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. As far as the key item, we could continue this rabbit hole with something like an Earth Crystal, or it could just terminate in a pass or something like that, and maybe we have to go demons hunting. Got my fingers crossed.
I mean, we know from here in the booth that that's going to be totally fine for Locke if that's what happens. But Locke is not going to know that. Locke will be panicking if this is not either the Magma Key or the Hook or the Earth Crystal.
Found our hook. At least it's a hook. I'll say that much.
Yeah, that doesn't no free objectives for anybody. Ground Flyer is making our runners earn it right now. Oh, I guess Locke still didn't do the in again.
Yeah, this is where the pan is, I believe. So nice that he's coming back here, probably looking for a Magma Key and hoping maybe I don't have to do the hook route. But we'll not be upset by the pan. As soon as he gets underground, he'll be able to get both of those checks and Shield 1 in rapid succession.
You're assuming there's not more rudeness waiting on the hook route, though. The party didn't magically get a lot better in the last 5 minutes.
We haven't seen Ogopogo or Dark Knight Cecil, and I'm hoping for Dark Knight Cecil into Ogopogo. Like,
I could go for another Odin. I think Odin would be fantastic right about now.
Odin good. Odin very good. Indra will do quite a bit of work, but you got to keep that ready alive long enough for the cast to go off.
Commander, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in, everybody. We are doing the thing. We have not made it underground yet, and we got a pretty fun set of objectives and a good race going here, so everybody get comfy. You're here just in time for the encore of the Twin Heart music as well.
Yeah. And for those joining us, I will spoil it partly. I can promise you that it's not going to be a Linkin Park song.
Antlion still rude.
Yeah, that's just in.
Film at 11.
I think it's bumped to the top of the headlines there, and Todd Smells is going to be relegated to the sports section.
I have to say too, because we know it's coming. I really hope Flax saves here, because this bot, like, this is actually a spot where, like, Flax has done a little bit more now, and actually doing more before you get to this fight might actually make it harder.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It might be a little harder to kill off your characters. Your turn order might be a bit more difficult. Opting to go with the Flame Whip here, that's interesting. Understands that this place has super high MDef, so just going, all right, Radius, swing and do what you can.
I think Flax has also come to accept and realize that the seed is out to get him, and is taking the necessary precautions. And as you see Locke go down to that antline again, oh my gosh.
At this point, you just have to wonder, is the hook route going to be kinder at this point than this antlion is going to be? Like, are your odds better to get through the hook?
Well, we'll leave everybody to ponder that while we listen to Edward jamming out on the twin harp again.
We'll be back after a couple loops.
All right, I think we can dive back in here and just call out that Locke was able to finish that off, get his pan, and is headed off to the hook route now. Flax was a little dicey at first, but managed, I think, to get this fight under control, and hopefully we'll be able to keep it going here. He's cutting it awfully close at the end of these loops, though.
Yep. Yeah, this one's pretty dicey. Two characters at one tick. Probably going to lose. Oh, ATB was a nice friend today. Got the radio back up. Got the recast on the count. Probably only a few more swings from Sid here. Checking the shops on Locke's side. Finds rune rings. There's a mute knife there. That's kind of cool. But I didn't see what was in the item shop.
Yeah, I missed that as well. I would love, if I was in Locke's position, to find like a Sylph Summon or something right now.
Yeah, Sylph Summon would be great. Even some Cure 3s wouldn't be bad. Like Gaia Drum. If we run into like dolls. Oh, hey, look. Sylph Summon.
That'll work. Yeah, because this party's DPS really needs some work right now, and that'll help out quite a bit.
As the Poison Axe, opting to just zerk up the Sid and get rid of these stale men. Might lose both Rosa and Rydia in the process, but Sid should be fine. Especially if he still has his prisoner robe equipped, because fun fact, the prisoner robe gives you immunity to the sleep status effect.
Yeah, Sid does not need a nap right now. And Flax does make it through that fight and pick up the Baron key, so the chain continues for Twisted Flax. I missed the Staleman chest item.
It was an Avenger, so that Kane just got a bit more interesting, and there was a curse ring.
Oh man, suddenly we got some good stuff here. Ugh, I really, really want to see Locke go get out of here.
That was
and
the
get
pain,
that
man.
Kane.
It's at the ruby spot, but it's still a pain, man.
Not as bad as if it was at the first spot, but
Yeah, a little bit less attack power, but Sid will probably be able to survive it, especially after taking the Mad Ogre chest if Locke decides to do so. But still very, very close to incredibly rude. You missed just by a bit there, Ground Flyer.
so close. Just for reference, I pulled up my Pain Man chart created by community member Invenerable, and in this spot, in the Rubicon spot, the Dark Knight waves will do between 308 and 396 damage.
Yeah, so Sid with just a few more levels and a tiara. Man, this has been a really good Cave Eblin as far as loot goes.
This is where all the good loot was.
Yeah, so at this point, Sid needs maybe one more level to live 3 max rolls from that DKC. Given the RNG, very unlikely to get 3 max rolls. Should be fine, as long as we don't have something like Odin at the first spot. If it's Ogopogo, I'm going to be upset with Ground for getting them backwards.
You were, yeah, that would have been so close. Just for reference, so you all know what we're talking about, at the King Queen spot, that Dark Knight Cecil would be doing between 522 and 638 damage per Dark Wave.
Yeah, it is a very nasty spot to get DKC, and that's a vanilla trap chest.
I like how methodical Locke has been for like this last, maybe 10 minutes or so, because I think when you wipe after you've done a bunch of more really challenging stuff and you come back and you still wipe to that antline at the Baron Inn, that can be a really tricky spot mentally to be in, and Locke has done a really good job just sort of staying composed, identified a way to get through that spot a little bit better. I saw people in chat pointing out that put Sid in the middle slot for some extra accuracy, and that clearly helped in the refight. So really nice job on Locke here to just keep progressing and not get too discouraged by some of the difficult things that the seed has thrown at him so far.
Yeah, Locke opting not to life glitch any of these Mad Ogres, just mowing them down, getting their base experience, and then this the loot from this. Instead of getting like closer to 16k, getting just over 9k and an elixir for his troubles.
Yeah, and Phineas in chat pointing out Locke has not found life potions yet, and it was definitely more important to just make sure everybody was alive, I think, there, than try to get a life glitch off. So it worked out okay. Maybe not optimal, but definitely got the job done. And I missed the item again.
It was an elixir.
Okay. Hey, that might actually be really helpful if DKC decides to be super rude to your Sid.
Potentially, yeah.
I guess a Cure 2 in that spot would be the same. If it was at the other spot, you would almost need like an Elixir Cure 3 to get through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Curing up everybody. Did Locke remember to save? Anybody see that?
I don't think Locke saved.
Oh boy. Okay, Luge is not the worst here. This is going to be more obnoxious than painful. Still going to be pretty punchy.
Yeah, I think Locke dodged a bullet here. As long as he can take out this first set in relatively short order, the second part shouldn't be too terribly bad because everything is magic-based and HP-based, and this spot does not have a ton of magic or a ton of HP.
Yeah, the laser will probably still hit hard enough to one-shot your Rydia, but your Rosa and Sid should both be fine. And the beams are based off of your party's HP, so you're not too concerned about that.
Oh, Groundflyer's saying he saved and then healed, so that's why we didn't notice it.
Aha!
Bold strategy, Zoe. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Using the Gaia drum here, pretty good location. At this point, you're running out of really good spots that's going to be useful, and you can get 2 targets, so might as well go ahead and use it here. We are now going to be getting Valnab Z.
And Locke does get through the first part. Speaking of multi-stage fights, Twisted Flax is fighting Dark Elf, and this fight's also fairly difficult, as we talked about earlier, even though Locke made it look pretty easy with that Grimoire Bahamut.
Yep, doesn't appear that Twisted did the same looting, did not find that Grimoire. Does get the poison proc for what that's worth. Sid's doing some pretty respectable damage, so as long as Sid can survive this, it'll be over here pretty soon.
There we go. Now, did Locke actually queue up that Sylph summon? Oh, never mind. This fight's going to be over in just a second.
That 17 damage meant that Lugate was basically dead at that point, so that is done. And as long as Locke doesn't attack DKC here, he can just put down his controller. He's going to be getting a full heal. The Sid will survive and will be underground. Because at this point, he has gotten a level on Sid, which gives Sid enough HP to survive even with the highest rolls. Of which he got 3 really high ones, I'll say that much.
Yeah. Although did miss out on being able to life up one of his other party members, unfortunately. Might get the life off on Rosa here. I don't think so, though.
I do not. Unless you get it in, I think, like right before the text starts. I don't really think you have much of a window to get it in.
Yeah. But Twisted Flax is going to be hot on his heels here. Does get the hook. Has checked pretty much everything except for those really obscure potential demist spots. So got to think he is headed underground right now. Probably feeling not great about where he's at in the race, but we know he's not that far behind, all things considered.
Question from chat: are they only allowed 3 team members? No, they are allowed a full 5, but once they accept a member into their party, they are in their party for good due to the permajoin flag. So the standard strategy in this particular flag set is to grab 3, get through the game with them until you unlock the ability to do your preferred grind, and then go grab 2 more from the Mysidia Tower of Wishes that you have encountered throughout the game. And then because of their levels being at least 5 levels below the rest of your party, you'll be able to get double experience, and you can slingshot them with relative ease.
Magic Terra in chat saying they're looking for Tella. I tend to agree with that. The only thing I will just call out is, at this point, if we get the Darkness Crystal out of one of the 4 free checks that Locke has coming up here, there's no reason couldn't do a Mac Giant grind with this party. Rosa has Blink. We've already got a Poison Axe. An Ogre Axe would be better, but a Poison Axe will do the job. We have Stop on Ridio, so we've got a lot of really nice tools for a Mac Giant grind as well, if that is something that our runners feel comfortable with.
Yeah, and we have access to a second Sid, so if you wanted to go 2 Sids just to make your grind more expedient and just slingshot a Rydia or a Palom, that is definitely an option. Locke gets a tower key from the Sylphs after bonking Yang on the head with the pan. Gotta wonder if he's going to check the Fey March freebie or just go straight over to Sheila 1 and 2.
I think you check all of your freebies right now for sure, and it looks like that is the plan as well here. And then that tower key, yeah, so lots of checks available for Locke here. You might even really like if you end up with like 9 key items after this whole haul too, it would not surprise me if we see Locke try to do tower to get 10 for that double XP as well.
We are at 7 key items right now. Upon reaching 10 key items, all experience that we gain is doubled. So with 3 more free spots here in the form of the Feymarch chest and the 2 Sheila checks, if we hit on all 3 of them, that's 10. And there's a Darkness Crystal.
That's the really important one. So yeah, we'll see how our runners' strategies change here after we finish fighting the inventory boss. I also just have to call out that Locke picked up a bunch of really good tools from that Eblin Cave looting run that he did that Twisted Flax passed up. So if we don't see another curse ring, if we don't see like a tiara, those are the kinds of things that could definitely make a difference at the end of the seed here.
Yep. So I'm completely on board with what you're thinking. If we get to maybe 9 from these 2 checks, I fully expect Locke to go ahead and go do at least the tower key if the tower boss is someone particularly finicky. Try and get to 10 key items, and then at that point, even if you don't have a Tella, you've got your Darkness Crystal, you've got 10 key items. Just go grind.
Yeah, I will just say from personal experience, you know, I tried to get to 10 key items before grinding a few times in my races, and it did not go super great. So I will understand if Locke wants to go grind with 9 personally, with no questions asked.
Yeah, especially with how long it took him to get underground. Both runners, in my opinion, probably feel a bit behind, especially with those wipes taken to the Antlion. So I can see Locke maybe going, all right, I've got 9. I can't really afford to go find 10. Let's just go grind. Stopping here at Dwarf. I wonder if this is a shop run.
Wouldn't surprise me if he just peeks the boss here too, since we haven't seen Demus yet. And if he is thinking about maybe trying for 10 key items, if you see something free there, it might be worth your time. But yeah, we can definitely check the shops as well.
Locke, there's a perfectly good pot next door.
There's a 40% chance that pot doesn't have anything in it. Let's just be honest.
That'd be actually kind of cool if the sparse flag could take away the healing pot next to Dwarf.
Oh, you meant the healing pot? That actually is, yeah, that's really funny actually.
Oh, bonus round.
Hey, there you go. That is, by the way, as someone who is a proponent of that play, even if Locke had just reset here, I love checking that first Baron or Dwarf Castle boss exactly for that reason.
Yep. Demus tier. This first spot has quite a bit of HP because it is the vanilla Calcabrina spot, so it has the combined HP of the dolls and the big doll. So pretty big chunk of HP to get through, but not too bad. I can get some blinks up because all Demus does is punch, but Demus does that very well in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of committed to it now, but it wouldn't have been the worst thing ever too, just to reset and come back when your DPS is a little bit higher, because this will take some time to chew through, but I think he's going to be able to do it no problem. Rosa has blink, so.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Locke use that Sylph Orb yet, which really would have come in handy right here. With that Tiara and that Charm Rod, and if you still had that Sorcerer Robe, that would nearly be best in slotting equipment for Rydia.
Yeah, it would have made a pretty big difference in the DPS. Not just in this fight, but I think in that Dr. Lugai fight as well. So, which, by the way, Twisted Flax is doing the Dr. Lugai fight.
Yeah, Berserking Sid here is not going to be the worst. This breath, something really going to be hitting Rydia for any substantial amount of damage. The worst thing it does is honestly slow you down. Fortunately, in Free Enterprise, Boardface was kind enough to remove the don't attack now, like 4 message long message when you attack Demus in the vanilla game, because that would be incredibly obnoxious if you had to deal with that every time. They
got to learn somehow. No, I don't mind this play, especially because we're talking about Sid, not a character that has like really, really high agility. So even if we have to go through a mist phase with Berserk on, it's not going to be more than a couple cold mists.
Yeah. Twisted Flax going back to save after that Luge. Doesn't nearly have the HP that Lux Sid had. We'll need to get off a Cure 2. Almost assuredly in order to survive unless we get 3 very generous rolls.
Seems pretty confident though, just actually set the battle speed up to 1. So, I mean, I guess as long as you sequence things right, it should be fine, but...
You get a Cure 2 off after the first one goes off. You can pretty much queue it up right away. You should be fine.
But what if you don't get what if you don't get an action here? That was what I was concerned about.
And that is going to be a wipe. Got some bad rolls. May want to redrop that battle speed there.
Yeah.
Or Dwarfax to give Rosa a better chance at getting a turn.
Okay, yeah, good. Just, yeah, leave that battle speed up nice and high. It'll be fine. Good play there. Meanwhile, LockeCole is attacking the mist.
Okay, get ready to fight. There we go. And he should be safe now. If you want to get off a life potion here. Nope.
Twisted Flax just, I think at this point, just like, make it stop. Let me underground. I don't care. I'll just sit here.
Leg?
Hey, there's a ninja.
There's the ninja. So the ninja coming to fight his nemesis. Was it laughing? Let me show you how. That's all I got.
This is a pretty big turn of events here, since it seems like there's a lot of incentive here to stay on the Earth and really keep working on the Earth for a while. Although you might still want to grind first, but having an edge and a pretty much a fully functional Rosa and Iridia at this point just makes that so much easier for Locke.
Yep. With this edge in hand, we cannot steal sirens in Table Flag. Sirens have been removed from the shops and drop tables, aside from Kakol's shop. Can still steal Bacchus wines, though. So if we wanted to maybe go some hybrid strats and not have to manually, or hardcast Berserk, we could always go back to that Cave Eblin trap chest with the Mad Ogres and steal a couple Bacchus wines if that's something that Locke decides to do.
And we do have that Avenger as well.
Yeah, I feel like pivoting towards Berserker strats might be in the cards here.
I don't think there's really a wrong answer because we do have, like, there's plenty of options. Ooh, and we got an Adamant,
So that is value on top of still having both Sheila checks to do. See, that puts Locke at 9 key items. So if he hits on one of the 2 Sheila items, regardless of whether it's something that he needs for a objective, he will have enough to either do a grind or to even just like go do top of tower and super cannon room and get a little bit of a experience boost there. Oh, and Demus check.
I've just got to call out too. So we've got 3 free checks coming up here, and we've got 3 items to go mode. What are the odds?
Fingers crossed. All right, Apple.
The dream is dead.
All right, yeah. It could still happen, but it is now way less likely.
I mean, unless the little dude in the Adamant Cave is willing to accept an apple, we're not getting go mode right here.
I think it'd be interesting if we could see like Legend Sword, Magma Key, and then from Tower rat tail, that would be very quick.
I mean, I think regardless of what happens from here on out, it's pretty evident that that overworld that ground flyer rolled, and then that hook route, which was not, it wasn't the hardest, but it wasn't the easiest. I think that's gonna probably, I mean, don't say never. There could still be some required rudeness left, but I feel like it's pretty likely that that was like the crux of the seed right
Locke,
there.
why didn't you back row your edge? You have a boomerang. Still have the ninja sword, which is nice. We found that in the watery pass there, right in the test where there's a chest where there's a tent in vanilla, right at the start. But you have a boomerang. You could back row it. Huh.
So Sheila had the earth crystal and the pass.
I don't think we've actually seen. He went straight to the shop. I think people in chat are speculating.
No, Twisted Flax went to,
Oh,
has already checked the pan
Twisted
items.
Flax doing it while I was talking about shops. I am very hyper-focused on lock screen.
We're really big fans of back row glitching here in the commentary booth.
I'm very big on equip glitches in general, as you would know.
But how do you feel about raiding treasuries, Zoe?
I feel pretty good about raiding treasuries. I like seeing how many numbers out of 10 the chat seems to think the treasury is.
Well, you're in luck then, because I think we're about to find out, at least from Twisted Flax, what our treasury rating is tonight. So get your cue cards, get your big placards out in chat, because here we go.
That's a lot of crystal.
Guess they keep the good crystal down here.
Yep. Lead arrows in case you run across Levy or Odin, I guess. Depends on this last couple chests. This has not been great so far.
Twisted Flax, don't stop in the middle like this and keep us waiting. Come on now.
Well, yeah, that was a Cecil out of 10.
Yeah. Wow.
That was 2 crystal gauntlets, a crystal helmet, and a crystal armor. The Dragoon armor is actually a decent pull for Sid, but oof.
Yeah, honestly, there was nothing useful out of that at all. I guess honestly, the coffin's probably the most useful item that you got out of there.
Yeah.
And still no crystal ring. I've got debated by crystal that's not the crystal ring twice now.
And unfortunately, that coffin, the best fight for it we've already seen in the Mist Cave, so we won't be using that on Officer Soldier for a quick win, but still use it on Baron Guards or Dark Imps, I guess.
Now, Pancras just alluded to something in chat that I didn't actually think of right away, but I was able to piece it together really quick. So if we get something like a good weapon for Cecil, an X-Cal, we have a crystal armor, and you know what else we have that we're toting around right now? At least if we're LockeCole. Twisted Flax doesn't have it, but you know what LockeCole has?
An Avenger.
Do you know what the Avenger does when you put it on a crystal armor Cecil?
It bypasses the Berserk immunity.
Indeed, it sure does. So
what's actually interesting to me there is the fact that Locke took that edge and only has 1 slot remaining in the party. We have the 1 Cecil, but with vanilla agility, it can get a little spicy. If we find a second Cecil up here in Zot, that could be, oh boy.
What do we got?
That was an alt gauntlet, and Twisted Flax went, let me adjust my equipment here.
Yeah, might still be on Battle Speed 4. I don't know. That's another thing you might want to check here.
There
Still on Battle Speed 4. Okay. Good. I would also recommend putting the Rydia up in that top slot, but also Locke has Titan as well as Edge. I think that the fact that Locke has already done Dwarf Castle is going to pay some huge dividends here.
Yep, especially because this particular gauntlet is full of stuff that just doesn't take physical damage.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty gross for Twisted Flax. There's no 2 ways about it.
You got Indra, and that's about it.
I mean, this is just feeling like a long seed right now. What do you think, Zoe? I'm thinking there's a lot of stuff waiting on the moon for our runners.
For our runner's sake, I hope not. We have seen a lot of key items, but we also do still have all those moon spots left, and still both checks in Lower Babel. There could Moon could still be haunted, and I'd be interested to see if our runners diverge here pretty soon, because if, say, Locke goes to dive the Moon while Twisted Flax goes and does Lower Babel and maybe the Feymarch bosses, he could easily make up the time that he is behind.
I think another thing to watch for here is how long it takes Twisted Flax to get to the Feymarch, because I think with the tower key in hand and this party and Dwarf Castle, potentially depending on what we get here from the Earth Crystal as well, but I could see Twisted Flax holding off on Feymarch for quite a while here.
Yeah, I could see it too. It goes against one of like the two core tenets of Free Enterprise being check your freebies, check your objectives. The order is up for debate. But that's a freebie that's just waiting down there.
Yeah, and I mean, technically do have the pass, but you got to think our runners are going to want to do some sort of grind either on the Moon or on the Giants, even if the Moon ultimately is not required here. So could be a pretty big deal. Locke also has a go mode item in that Adamant as well that Twisted does not have. So the way, just that quick peek, we were kind of talking about it, Zoe, when it happened, that quick dip into Dwarf Castle is really paying off for Locke in a lot of different ways here.
And Locke makes it through the Gauntlet first, as predicted, given the Edge having Flame made quick work of quite a few of those battles. And we see a Palom here in our first character slot.
So much Black Mage.
And I would be personally surprised if Locke decides to take any character that's not a Tella without first giving a good look at that Moon character. Hey, the twins! How'd you both get up here?
Yeah, no Tella to be found in the seed. I do think if Locke had come across a Tella here, I agree with you. That's probably the take. But boy, still got plenty of options here, although we have not checked that Moon character yet.
Takes the Palom, dedicating to not doing a D-Machine grind at this point. Likely looking to do Mech Giants. But let's see who's here. And we have a free fight. Are we out of Start Rails? Are you... Yep, and we're eating the Avenger.
I mean, I understand Locke's reasoning here with the 10 key items and finding that Palom, and I'm sure just wants to go grind as soon as he's done here, but boy, I don't know if I like taking the Palom, and I definitely don't like darting the Avenger at this point.
Yeah, it did its job though. It got us through Bahamut, and that's, I guess, all you can ask for out of it at this point. Let's see if Zot holds one of the key items we need. Importantly, though, this also gets exit on Rosa, so if we do decide to dive Moon and it's haunted, you don't have to walk all the way back out of the LST. You can exit out now.
I'm actually going to make the bold prediction here. I don't think Locke is going to go grind. I think Locke is in continue on the Earth mode, and I'm picking up a Palom because I want a Quack Kid in my party to help clear these spots a little bit faster.
I could definitely see that, and instead of doing a slingshot grind, might just do a grind near the end to shore up his levels before Threemus.
Well, there's an objective. We get the Rat Tail.
Oh. Now, this would be interesting if this leads to, say, Luca Key straight into Magma. That would be, I think the kids are calling it spicy nowadays.
This could be spicy. Also, passing on that Odin check again, and just for the sake of chat and everybody who's been following along, if you missed it, neither of our runners has checked that Odin spot yet, so we don't know what's down there yet at this point.
No, he's supposed to give you the adamant. You can't give him the adamant.
All right, well, objective done for Locke, but dead end here. So now what do you do? Got Odin spot, we got the Feymarch bosses, and we've got the 2 tower checks. I feel like tower is definitely the play here.
I'm a big fan of maybe going to do Odin before you go back underground, just so you have everything done on the above ground. This is the last thing that we could possibly check, and then it's just a matter of underground and underground and moon checks at that point.
Yeah, I think the fact that we still need so much, I don't mind this play of checking the Odin spot here, but man, if I'm in this race, I want to get to tower. Like 2 checks. We didn't see who was the boss. Did we see what the boss was?
I wasn't paying attention if either runner went the couple squares out of their way to look. Chat, if you did see that, please let us know. It
was a sparkle. Okay, so let's see. I don't think we have any particularly nice sparkles left at this point.
Pale Dim is still out there, and with the Artemis arrows that Locke just got from the Rat Tail and Twitch Flex is picking up now, that'll make quick work of Pale Dim.
Yeah, I don't mind putting it off immediately, because when you went underground, you had that pan, and you want to go check that pan first. But I feel like you want to get back to that. You want to get back there ASAP.
Hey, a fight we can use that coffin on.
If our party members survive long enough, these are some punchy imps here.
Indeed, they are. And going for a life glitch just to get a little bit of bonus experience. At this point, doesn't seem interested in keeping that Palom in slingshot range, so I think you're absolutely right. Just going to get this Palom online to make the checks quicker, and we'll do a... might even opt to just do moon bosses if he decides that he feels far enough behind, and not even go all the way up to nuke on these mages and just go for berserk strats.
Yeah, the one good thing for Locke is Locke has his anchor situation squared away, no problem with that Sid, because he's got a Dwarf Axe and he's got a Cursed Ring, which I don't believe Twisted Flax has found a Cursed Ring yet. Is going to find his Darkness Crystal here in just a second, though, which will be good for him.
And there we go.
Like that stop there from Locke to buy some time. Really, really good heads up play there on his part.
Yep. Could opt to Toad these imps. I don't know if Rosa has size at this level, but this Quake will be coming in and hitting for a decent amount of damage as well.
Yeah, Toad is the one that they would have access to at this point, and I agree. But that's honestly like a relatively new strat. I haven't been seeing a lot of people using Toad on this fight until this tournament, honestly.
Yeah, Toad's always been viable, but because of its relatively low level that you can get it on both your black mages, it's really come into favor, especially early game. But gets through it, so we're going to see if this Odin spot pays off, and Locke is officially done with above ground checks. That's a half womp.
That's a wompity womp. It's not a full womp because we haven't seen Golbez yet.
That is true. And because of that, Locke is going to be walking this out.
Can't really argue with that. Also got a lot of experience because I think got at least one life glitch there as well.
Yeah, got one off of the one that he coffined. I don't think he got a second one off, but still a hefty chunk with 10 key items in the inventory in that spot. Being a good experience spot. Not like moon or giant levels of experience, but real good.
All right, so that leaves Tower and Feymarch.
And given what we know is in Feymarch, the Quake will make dolls go by pretty quickly if you can manage to kill the back ones without too much trouble. But that Octomam is very fast in the Asira spot, and that spot isn't as punchy as the Levy spot, but still punches pretty hard.
So Zoe,
Yes.
Twisted Flax is raising the whale.
I like this. I wonder if he's just doing a character check and might be starting to grind soon. He is at 2-6. He is at 10 key items. So I bet we're going to be seeing a grind.
I think we're going to see a grind here, and unless we find a Tella, I think we're going to be seeing a Mad Ogre or a Mac Giant grind, because he did pick up a Ogre Axe in the Fey March as well, which is where that was being sold. So I think we've seen some signs from Twisted Flax that he feels a little bit behind at this point, and I think pulling that Darkness Crystal out of a free chest is only going to add to that. So we might see some pretty interesting divergence here in these next few minutes.
Meanwhile, Locke, rather than going straight up to the top of tower, actually opts to hit Super Cannon on the way up. I'm curious to see if he goes right or left out of here. Okay. Continuing on up.
I think when you have 10 key items, it doesn't really matter too much which order you do them in, but it does limit your options as far as, okay, yeah, gonna save here. Resetting out of the top spot is all I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of taking the save spot before the Super Cannon room, and then if I whiff on the key item at the top, I can just reset out and save myself a few floors of walking. But this will work just as well. He can reset back out here, but then we'll have to walk all the way back down. So the time difference is fairly minimal. Just a sequence of events that I am unused to seeing.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often, but I think in this case it makes a lot of sense. Or it's not that it makes a lot of sense or doesn't make a lot of sense. It mostly just doesn't matter which order you do them in, because you're pretty committed to doing both of them. And I agree with Flurry in chat. You've already got the 10 key items. You want this XP, especially since I think Locke has shown us that wants to wait on grinding for as long as possible here.
Yep. And Twisted finds a Punch Mage, and Locke finds a Wyvern. This spot is actually really bad for Wyvern.
Just enough to get the kill, but we do have all of that negative agility gear that we can throw on Sid here, so this will be fine. I'm just going to take a little bit of a reshuffling of the gear here.
Yeah, without this agility gear, this spot is fast enough and hits just hard enough with that Mega Nuke to serve as a pretty serious problem, but this Cursed Ring should get his characters to get some turns off, blowing the battle speed so that he doesn't lose too many ATB ticks. I imagine we get through this one here. But did he, this still raises the question that I had asked previously. Is he out of Star Veils? I didn't see any at the top. So
he had 4.
He had 4. Okay. They must have been shuffled around the inventory at some point.
Yeah, he did. He was tried to get one off on Edge, just didn't go. Meanwhile, Twisted Flax checked the moon character. It was Yang, and has come back down, and I believe picked up 2 Black Mages. It's a presumably go Slingshot here.
I definitely saw a Palom picked up. Not sure what the other one was. I still don't think we sent the one from Kaipo to... Oh, I think he only grabbed the one Palom there and is now going to go to Kaipo to get the second one. Because I thought he left with only 4 characters.
Makes sense, yeah. Yeah, you definitely... given the option, you definitely want the 2 Paloms. As far as a Mac Giant, let's see here.
While Blaze is looking up a handy chart, I imagine, Locke is taking out this Wyvern here. This would be actually pretty interesting if you could get this Rydia back up, because if you cast a summon on Wyvern, Wyvern will counter with another Mega Nuke. So you could get that going again.
So with the 10 key items and the Slingshot, in order to get your Paloms up to nuke, you are basically going to need 3.5. Oh, wait, I'm looking at D Machines, not Mac Giants. Hold on. It looks like it's going to be 4 Mac Giants, I believe, is all that he is going to need to get these kids up to nuke.
And that is with life glitches, I presume?
Yeah, so 8 kills, but with the Slingshot and the double XP, that's going to get you... It's 30.5 Mac Giants to get a base level Paladin Nuke, so you got to round that up presumably to
32.
32 and then divide that by 4.
Correct. That math checks out.
We do know that you are a mathematician, so...
Twisted Flex does have 10 key items. Chat is saying 9. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, he's got 10.
Yeah, I occasionally do some good math. I occasionally think I do some good math and then have to correct myself 4 times. But fortunately, Discord allows me the option to delete my messages. So.
What did Locke get from top of tower?
I'm not seeing anything lit up that wasn't already lit up there. So, power shirt.
That'll go nice on that edge.
Yeah, exactly. We could find a second good ninja sword. That edge is going to be power overwhelming, which is something that we rarely see in table. Is a well-equipped edge for Zeromus. Rare that we see an edge at all.
That is true. So it looks like Twisted Flax has found a spot that he likes to set up the Mac Giant fight here. I did not catch which one because that would be really hard to do, just eyeballing it. But Twisted Flax is actually the person I believe who took the raw data from Simbu and made the chart. So gotta think he knows what he wants to do here and is ready to go.
Yep. Twisted Flax is the one who compiled that data, so if I trust anyone to read it correctly, it will be him. So leaving Baron, coming to the big whale, looks like his grind fight has been set up, and we'll shortly be seeing some Mac Giants, and I imagine we will not be seeing very many of them, given the numbers that you pulled together for us.
Yeah, and Chasman pointing out, and I have to admit, I have a soft spot in my heart for this character. But I am disappointed that we don't have a Kane in either of our runners' parties because we now have a defense sword, an Avenger, and a power shirt.
Yeah, that would all go very nicely together. But alas.
But the good news for Locke here is he's 2 checks away from having full cleared the Earth. And the worst thing that could happen as far as chains go is he finds the Luca key, which is actually one of his objectives. So I do think this is a really good routing by Locke. I don't hate what Twisted Flax is doing either, but I think it really just depends on where stuff is now from here on out. I think we've also seen that if Flax comes back to the Earth at this point, it's really not going to pay off too much. I guess it depends on what we could see in the Feymarch here. We know that there's a key item at Dwarf Castle, which is Go Mode related, but we don't necessarily need it because if the Magma Key and the Luca Key are both on the moon, then we don't really need that adamant to finish the seed either.
Yeah, so we may not be seeing Dwarf Castle from Twisted Flax whatsoever. Setting up the grind here, I have to wonder if he's just going to go straight to the moon. Feeling behind, I've noticed that for a lot of runners, the conventional wisdom is if I feel behind, let's just go ahead and gamble on the moon. So,
I mean, the other part of that, and it definitely a situation that I think runners have to also take into consideration is if you're in Twisted Flax's shoes here, you need so much stuff to finish the seed at this point, and you've done a lot of what's been available on the Earth, so you have to feel pretty good that at least something that you need is on the moon. So I think that I would not begrudge him going straight to the moon, even though I don't think that's been the conventional wisdom in this format, but I think it's pretty easy to justify in this particular seed when he knows he needs at least 3 more key items for Go Mode. Or 2 more. I'm sorry, 2 more.
This race is nothing short of interesting, especially given this is the only race today. This is the first time in a long time we've only had one Free Enterprise race being restreamed in a single day. for those who are watching the table stage very closely, after this race, we do have 5 more races in table stage before we are completely confirmed for bracket. As Locke takes out this Octomam and Twisted Flax continues to grind. I just want to run over those real quick. We have Aizen Tayama versus Stone Dingley, which will be tomorrow, restreamed here on Free Enterprise at 2 p.m. Eastern. We have Actual JP versus Zilch, which is also tomorrow at 9 p.m., also here on Free Enterprise. And at the same time, over on RPG Limit Break, would be Pulse Morpheus versus Zyrak. And then a little bit after that, not being restreamed, is Oscredwin and Dathis. And then Saturday's lone match is Mecha and Actual JP.
And Locke
just in time.
finds the Legend Sword. Yeah, you snuck those in just in time for a really hype moment as Locke finds the Legend Sword. That is huge.
Yeah, so now only looking for the Magma Key or the Luca Key. Is it going to be at these dolls? Is the moon just going to be haunted?
Oh, I hate the not saving here, though.
Bluff up this Palom a couple times, and I think you can do a good chunk of damage with Quake. Titan, I don't think is going to be strong enough to take out the front 3 dolls, but it will get sufficient damage that a bluffed up Quake might finish things off.
His Rosa also has Cure 4 already, by the way.
Yeah, showing that I don't really need to grind that much. If he does decide that he wants to get to nuke, he's going to need like 1 or 2 Mac Giants and he'll be done.
If that, yeah. I mean, if we need a moon fight, one or two moon fights might be enough as well here.
And we took out the front dolls, so if Palom's over there trying to Quake, it needs to go off pretty soon.
This is a bluffed Quake. Hopefully will be enough damage to finish the fight. Oh, yeah.
And there we go. Perfect. And Feymarch has the goods.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know about you, Blaze, but most of the seeds that I've played in this tournament, Feymarch has been the most haunted location, and to get 2 pieces of your go mode out of Feymarch is nothing short of remarkable.
Yeah, I'm just in total agreement with you there. Locke is so excited. He is just like, okay, take a deep breath. Yep, exit. He was running into that NPC for a little bit there. Let's get her done here. He is going to be in go mode in about 90 seconds.
Yeah, and another very important fact is that was the Magma Key, not the Luca Key. So we're gonna see the Easter egg, and we don't have to go through a dungeon. We're just gonna be able to get our crystal. We have a pass, so if you want to go shore up your party with a quick grind, you can do so, and you don't even have to touch the moon.
Yeah, that is pretty important. Because one of the... we don't know what Twisted Flax is going to do yet. It is entirely possible that Flax comes back after this fight, goes straight to the Feymarch, finishes off those bosses, and...
Sirens.
Is really, really close. Oh, hey, never mind. We don't even need it. Who needs to grind?
You don't need to set Mac Giant. Just grab some Sirens, go pop some eggs to get your party where it's at. That's the best thing that could have been the Skull Shop right now. That is, like... This is all coming up LockeColeLive right now.
I was just gonna say, yeah, everything's exactly as you put it. You couldn't have drawn this up any better for Locke here, and gets an Excalibur to dart with that edge. So sure. So this is exciting. Definitely, I'm feeling so bad for Twisted Flax right now. But anyway, Easter egg time. Everybody enjoy if you have not seen this before.
Oh, this is my favorite text box in the game.
Don't go too fast, Locke. Don't go too fast.
Well, that's gone.
Well, that's gone. But hey, we got this crystal.
that is my favorite text box. My second one being there is a guard in Cave Eblin that if you talk to him, he says hook seeds are the worst.
That's a pretty good one. I do still like, and I will not spoil it because it is also an Easter egg. I really like what happens when you go talk to Zeromus in seeds where beating Zeromus is not required to complete the seed.
That is also very good. Locke. Oh, is Locke just gonna go do like a single King Ryu fight with those Artemis arrows?
I mean, the Artemis arrows work just as good on eggs, so
eggs.
I'm not sure, but
I'm curious to play here.
My guess is Locke doesn't remember that he has the pass. I'm just assessing it on the fly here, and you know what? This is a moment you get really excited as a runner, and stuff happens. So this is not, it happens to everybody.
That would be my assumption too, just for getting the pass, because yeah, the Artemis arrows would work just as well. You have 10 sirens. 10 eggs at this point with 10 KIs would probably be enough. Maybe not, but
oh, dude, he just wanted to check the shop.
Oh,
no, that actually makes a lot more sense because we didn't see him check that shop before, and he hasn't come back here to pick up characters at all.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, never mind. That was just a cutscene because he had the Darkness Crystal and needed to get life potions. Now he's going to go do eggs. Okay, this makes more sense.
I mean, you don't mind it too because you just take that second to like compose yourself while the whale's coming up, and it can be a good moment to just kind of like take a breath and reflect a little bit there.
Or a good moment to take a drink of water, because remember to stay hydrated, especially when you're racing or watching races. Yeah, at this point, even the arty arrows, you don't really need them. You've got this edge that's likely going to one-shot them regardless.
Yeah, it's not gonna matter. He's buying ninja stars. Okay.
That might be opting to throw ninja stars at these eggs to ensure that he one-shots them. I actually really like that. That's a really heads-up play.
I mean, I would like it if he didn't sell the arty arrows to do it, but I understand.
Where are you going? Where? Locke, what are you doing?
Let's just watch, and we will ask Locke during the interview what his thought process was here. I'm not going to speculate anymore because I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I'm done speculating at this point because Locke is out strategizing me here.
It's probably some big brain play that we can't even fathom.
Okay, he's going to Cave Bahamut. This points to King Ryu's.
Yeah, okay. Also, I have to point out, we haven't done a lot of siren grinds lately, y'all.
Yeah. This is the first one that I've personally seen in the table phase. This is the first time I've seen a runner both forge and sirens available in the LockeCole shop.
I had sirens in the shop in one practice seed. I definitely have not had it in a live race or anything like that, but yeah.
Also, Twisted Flax is still in the grind, and I think at this point he has enough for nuke on these palums.
That's a good point. Because we said 4.
Yeah. I have to wonder if he's just going power overwhelming here.
Or he probably is actually going off of what Rydia needs, which would be, looks like more like 9, looking at the chart here, so.
He could also pull the classic Zoe move of forgetting you have 10 key items when you're doing a Mac Giant grind and end up with 2 level 70 palums.
I will do you one better, and he could be pulling the classic Blaze move, which is that you know that you have 10 key items, but you just can't do math well enough, and you do twice as many Mac Giants as you need still. Basically, what I'm trying to say at this point, for the sake of both of our runners, is anything is possible.
Can make for a fun interview, I'll tell you that. I think we've been one-upped because someone in chat said they forgot they had 10k. I once ended up with a level 97 Kane.
That was probably a really happy Kane.
I don't know about you, but I'm just here having fun.
Oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, I think this is mainly just a testament to how rude of an overworld ground flyer rolled for our runners tonight.
Yeah, I think your overworld might have slightly broken our runner's ground flyer.
All right, Twisted Flax, what's the play here? Locke got through his gold dragons. Your move.
You know, I think we might have just honestly lost Twisted Flax. There is no Flax anymore. There is only grind.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it's over. We gotta stop.
As long as he didn't cast stop on himself, that's the important thing. How many ninja stars does Locke have left? Did he use all of them in that first ground fight?
I was more paying attention to I was mesmerized by the Mac Giant grind.
Yeah, this has been very interesting.
This has been a seed where it's been very easy to hyper-focus on one runner. And that's not good when I'm a commentator, I'll tell you that.
Oh nope, we're doing more. Oh, actually, it was probably an accident. It was probably an accidental Mac Giant. It should be worth noting, just for everybody who has not seen a Mac Giant grind before. Yeah, I was gonna say you can also stop the Mac Giants, and I think I did see somebody in chat pointing out that would have made the fight go a little bit smoother for Flax as well. So, yeah, if you have not done this grind fight before, the stop spell helps so much.
Yes, indeed. Stop, blink, giant killing weapons, machine killing weapons, lightning weapons. Virus is real good. It's a very versatile fight if you don't have a Tela. And we're on to King Ryu fight number 3.
Well, looks like Twisted Flax is just about done with the grind here. And Locke is also just about done with his grind as well, from the looks of it. Might just need maybe one more Siren after this, but I think this one is going to be the last hard one because I'm pretty sure that Palom is going to have a week after this one.
I am very interested to see. That was 1 million experience, so that is 2 million onto each of those Paloms. You got enough to get Rydia Nuke from level 1 there, Twisted Flax.
You know, sometimes you just got to be sure.
Yep.
So yeah, ends up with level 63 Paloms, I believe, but everybody is good to go now, including Sid, who is your anchor, presumably.
Sid is gonna have so much HP here,
and I don't think Twisted Flax has a curse string.
That could be troublesome.
I mean, he's still Sid, so it might be okay. We'll see.
Oh, hey, look, 2 ogre axes. Did you know that Mac Giants can drop ogre axes?
The ogre axes were jealous of the poison axes from earlier.
I want to see these HP totals he has on these mages.
Sid did not learn Meteo, chat. Pipe down.
Yeah. Sid only learns Meteo when you're doing a no CW run.
And Twisted Flax going to Dwarf Castle.
If he decides to full clear the underworld, this will pay off for him.
Oh, just using the pot and then headed off to tower.
Okay. So
Which, as we know, is the one spot remaining underground that does not have part of go mode for him, unfortunately. On the plus side, this is going to go really, really quick, except for the Wyvern, actually.
I want to correct a bit of misinformation in chat. Sid is 53, not 35. So, kind of nerdy housewife, you don't need to be concerned.
Sid is age 53 and also level 53, I believe. And also has 5,300 hit points, probably.
Probably, yeah. It's like the number 23 with Jim Carrey, but it's the number 53 with Sid. Insert last name here because I've forgotten it.
All right, Locke needs one more King Ryu fight here.
Yeah. Tella is 60. And Trino is not wrong that Final Fantasy IV treats 60 like it's 90.
Tella did not look good for 60, just saying.
Yeah. Papita asking, Yang's HP caps at about 6k health because of a programming oversight. Does Sid also cap? No, Sid will get HP all the way up to level 99. I don't know what his theoretical maximum is, but he doesn't have the same issue that Yang does.
So the funny thing is here for Flax is this Mega Nuke is not going to kill anyone except maybe Rydia.
Yeah, these 2600 Palams have more HP than Rosa, and that's frankly just disgusting.
They grow up so fast.
Yeah, especially when they get slingshot. Hey, and Palam survived. Locke is done with his grind. Does remember he has the pass, so very curious why King Ryus were the chosen grind there, but nonetheless is on his way to Zeromus very, very quickly. You parked a Falcon
no!
there. You gotta take the long way. Grab the Chocobo though, it's faster.
No, you have to do the Walk of Shame. That is your penance for doing that.
No, just grab the Chocobo, it's fine. And a crystal shield for your trouble.
And a crystal shield.
So we found everything except for a crystal sword and that crystal ring that you so desperately want to appear.
You can't say I'm a witch.
No, that's me. I'm the Red Witch. Blaze, what are these? What's chat doing? Chat, chat, I know that grind was a little slow, but you don't need to fall asleep on us. That's just rude. Oh, there's Zoe flags. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I like it. No, we are about to go fight the final battle of Final Fantasy IV. In Free Enterprise, we do not randomize the final boss at all. It has the exact same script It is the exact same fight that you would get in the vanilla game from the Zeromus point of view, but it is a randomizer, so we want to still do some randomization. So what we do is we have a alternate Zeromus sprite, mostly, but not completely, all designed by our artist in residence, the wonderful Scala Kitty.
Yep. Handful of them been done by Boardface, but Scala is our wonderful art director and has done some great work here. I feel like we can stop beating around the bush and we can ask the question that everyone wants to hear. That is, how is Butt doing tonight? Ask the question, Blaze.
Whose butts are we going to kick tonight? I was just timing it.
I know. I saw the crystal come out and I was like, quick. They're going to burn me like the Red Witch I am.
Oh my gosh, I love this one. I think I've maybe only seen this one once.
Hey, we found her.
Zoe, can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
I am a secret geography nerd.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
I watched this show on PBS a lot growing up. Probably about the same time I was playing a lot of Final Fantasy IV. Or Final Fantasy II, I guess, technically. Where in the moon is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, I feel like this is the one sprite where the where is butt is an apt question to be asking.
See, you knew it, Zoe.
Well, I said how is butt. So.
Oh, okay. Well, next time then.
Because no one ever asks how is butt. I just wanted to be nice. Maybe butt needs a hug, not a kick.
We care about you, Butt.
You're always there for us, Butt. Meanwhile, Twisted Flax has made his way over to Dwarf Castle. We'll make quick work of everything here, and we'll be getting a nuke. Not a nuke. We're using a nuke to get an adamant. Sorry, there was a motorcycle outside that very much distracted me.
It was in fact loud.
I looked out my window and went like, how dare you?
Maybe it was Carmen Sandiego getting away. It looks like Locke is opting for at least a lot of reflected spells. I didn't catch what Edge is doing, but certainly although he did sell some things, but I was going to say between a couple of darts and some spells here, might be really feasible just to do a very quick reflect strat Zeromus fight here for Locke.
Yeah, this party is pretty well built for hybrid strats, but reflect strats with 2 nukes and a white would get you through pretty quickly.
Yeah, it does opt for a direct spell cast though. Or wait, that was a crystal. I think wanted that nerf there, and I'm pretty sure got it off.
We'll see very shortly. Yep, that was a nerf.
Pretty important one too, because if that had gone off full power, it definitely would have taken out the 2 black mages there.
Indeed.
Oh no. I suddenly fear for Sid.
I do too.
It's nice knowing you, Beardy.
That's fine. Even in death, he smiles.
He thought of a good joke while he was going down like that.
Oh, speaking of good jokes, I had one that I was going to say when we got here, but the motorcycle distracted me. I'll wait till Twisted Flax gets to Zeromus to pull it out, because it's going to make more sense if I do it then.
Good plan. I think the route that the Twisted Flax has gone on here, we shouldn't be waiting too long for that as well. Oh no. No, Twisted Flax, don't go to the moon.
No, don't do it. No.
Oh no, he's going. Wait, going to Odin.
Demist.
Wait.
Okay.
Oh, Demist check. Never mind.
Please go
Hold
back.
on. I forgot.
Please
what
go
we
back
were doing.
underground. Things are getting a bit out of hand on Locke's side here.
Yeah, I think losing the Sid did not help matters here. Still has plenty going, but needs to get a wall back up and get some more nukes in Carmenus's face here. Good survival instincts here by Locke. Just get through the turn, get set back up. I think maybe ran out of Star Veils as well. Yeah, Flurry in chat pointing that out as well, because that's the second time we've seen a wall cast. Ooh, that was a high roll.
Yeah. Oof. And there comes a black hole.
Oh no!
Take out the wall.
Stop it.
Twisted Flax going to go here and check the Odin spot while he was above ground. Makes logical sense for routing. The imps, all of his black mages will have access to stone here, so I imagine this will go over pretty quickly. And I'm curious if he walks out the ribbon or just resets. The more off the rails this gets for Locke, the greater the chance that Twisted Flax does have to come back in this race.
That's true, especially if Twisted Flax sticks to the plan and stays on the Earth here. Should all go pretty quickly. Locke doing a really good job nerfing those big bangs, though.
Yep, just got that nerf off. This will take down Edge, but everyone else is still up. Gets the wall back up onto Sid. Gotta hope to get a nuke out pretty quickly, though, because a black hole is incoming. And yep.
Oof. You might need to pivot to hybrid strats here just to get this fight done at this point.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of worried about Rose's MP at this point too.
Well, and also Locke already used his one elixir.
Twisted Flax, no. Twisted Flax is on the moon.
I mean, I can't blame him.
I cannot blame him, but it hurts knowing what we know. The best thing that I think he can hope for is maybe a Luca key here that pulls him right back underground and he decides to check the Fey March while he's down there.
Yeah, I agree.
Still in the virus phase of this fight, because going for reflex strats, you're not going to flip it over. Can make things a little annoying. But you have a black hole.
The problem with being in phase 1 right now for Locke is every single cycle you get that black hole. And Rosa, I don't even think can cast wall anymore. So I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about. There's the reset.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Locke, I believe, doesn't have ethers. I think only Twisted Flax ever picks him up, and Twisted Flax used most of his on the Antlion fight, using Indra to get through it earlier.
Yeah, Flax does have an elixir, just used it on a Sid that probably didn't need it, and in retrospect, I'm sure Locke was regretting that decision.
Yeah, we know Star Veils are available. I think they were over in Fabul, if I'm remembering what chat told me. But I think Locke feels behind. After the wipes to Antlion, waiting until he had go mode to do a grind, he's probably sitting there just waiting for that dot done to come in, and so he's not wanting to waste any time with a strategy that he feels he can do as long as he executes.
Yeah, I'm sure neither of our runners feel great right now. Most of the seeds in this format have not gone 2 hours, so to be at the 2 hour mark, you just know, like you said, that dot done can come any second. Groundflyer, we know that the Luca key has to be on the moon somewhere, but yeah, That is the only thing of consequence that is still up here,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
we have checked every above ground location, every underground location, with the exception of Seal Cave. And because of randomized logic, which makes this game playable, we know the Luca key cannot be in the sealed cave. So.
Yeah, I will see if what Locke decides to change up here. This is a perfectly valid setup for doing hybrid strats, so I don't think you necessarily have to feel committed to doing those reflex strats, especially if the lack of star veils becomes an issue here. Yeah, we see a berserk on edge. I think that Locke is gonna just kind of work through this fight a little bit more methodically this time instead of trying to do the reflex strats and things like that.
I think this is a good call. Berserk is going to give you a couple different benefits. It will it's not going to Q jam like you would expect from a full team of RA1 Berserkers, but it will keep Edge in the queue up until a black hole comes out. And by doing so, it also keeps you from having to input his actions. And the act of the menu itself drawing, depending on your battle speed, can cost you an ATB tick that you just can't prevent. So less menus means a overall smoother fight.
Yeah, agreed on that. And yeah, and also, I don't think he has any star veils. I think he used them all on that wyvern fight.
Ooh, yeah, looks like he is. Oh, wait, okay. Meanwhile, Twisted Flax. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and yeah, and then suddenly Edge is swinging in for almost 4,000 damage. I think you want to make that a part of the plan here.
Yeah, even if you're gonna have to go through phase 2 and do twice the damage you were, this fight will be more stable in this fashion. Reflex strats can go off the rails pretty quickly. Twisted Flax is in the ribbon room, has found a Pale Dim, pretty friendly. It has 40,000 hit points. It's only going to punch you, and your characters have more HP than they have any right having. But
I do think he just used white on it though.
I think I saw that as well.
Oh, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. He's dead. Yep. Really? How? Grandfire, I understand that it's supposed to be 2 ribbons in the vanilla game, but you don't have to make them both the same item.
I have never seen that before.
Neither have I.
That's amazing. Someone should clip that.
Just please cut out the part where I like spit into my mic.
No, leave it in. It's better that way.
Grandfly, your seeds are only supposed to break the runners. You're not supposed to break the commentators too.
Ground Flyer, are you memeing?
Grandfly is memeing hard, I think.
This is just like a victory lap at this point for Ground Flyer.
Oh my. All right, I'm just gonna save that clip and put that in a special location.
That one's going in the highlight reel. Ground Flyer's gonna be Ground Flyer's gonna print that one out and put it on the fridge at home.
I want you to think about that sentence one more time.
No, just don't. Just let it happen.
Hey, look, a spoon. I mean, if with those Levio orbs, just put them in a box or put them in a bowl with some milk. You have Levios. Oh man.
I'm trying to think of a funny something by Viathan
I
joke.
don't know. I got Leggy behind me laughed at my Levio's joke. Oh, hi Odin. So chat, how's Locke's Z fight going? Because I've definitely been distracted for the past minute.
Everyone seems very much alive, except for Rydia now.
But you repeat yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're in phase 2 as well. Come on, Twisted Flax, get that Luca key.
And Odin goes down. Like this party needed more experience. What do we get?
Of course.
At least make it a crystal ring. Hey, we have rocks.
What's better than Levios? Some rocks.
Locke has to be feeling, oh yes, it's almost done. But there goes the nuke onto Sid. Just direct nuke at this point, you're fine.
Hey, you know what? This seed might have another rude surprise up its sleeve. I have no problem with just cure 4ing up the team here and making sure that we get across the finish line.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Nice dodges.
Are we gonna have Golbez here at this Wyvern spot? Because we're running out of boss locations. Nope, Mylon and friends.
Maybe Golbez was at the
And it's
hey,
over!
Done. Yeah, Locke must have the flash effects turned off because we didn't see the crack boom, but we got the GGs. We got Carminus going down, and Locke is your winner with a official time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 15 seconds. GGs to Locke.
GG's to Locke, and I believe we are joined by Locke for an interview. GG's.
Hello. That was spooky.
Yeah, what'd you think of that?
I was terrified the entire time I was on Zero Miss. Twisted Flax was just gonna dot done. I was like,
yeah. We figured that was why you didn't go maybe to buy some more Star Veils.
I don't remember where they are.
I think they were at for Bool.
Oh, that makes sense.
I have one question before we do anything else here. You found the Sirens Inca Coal shop, which is super rare. Why King Ryu's and not eggs?
I figured King Ryu's would be just a tad bit faster since I would have to crack a bit more eggs. I'm not sure if I could one-shot the eggs. Maybe with a virus, but...
Yeah, I thought with the Ninja Stars you bought that you were just going to go throw Ninja Stars at the eggs because that would one-shot them.
Yeah, I was honestly thinking about it, but it's what, 63,000 per egg, and I wanted to at least go up to nuke, so I would have needed a lot of eggs. I'm actually not sure which one would have been faster there.
I mean, looking back on it, I bet you probably felt pretty time crunched there, so it's understandable that you kind of just wanted to maximize each fight.
Yeah.
Where we were at, we knew because we were watching Twisted Flax, who was in a Mac Giant grind at the time for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
That you had like buckets of time at that point, but it ended up working out okay for you.
Yeah.
I want to interject here and just ask our Rishimer a question. Was that a flame whip from the Wyvern spot?
That's so bad.
Ground Flyer is going to get a very bad Yelp review from Twisted Flax for this seed.
Oh,
That's so bad.
Locke, I'm going to send you a clip because I can't do it justice.
Oh, the Leviathan thing? I was watching during that.
You're watching it? Yeah.
I was watching.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to experience the Rude Moon, but you did have to experience that Rude Overworld that Ground Flyer served up for you.
Oh boy.
Boy, there were a lot of really rough fights there. Which one was your favorite?
The antlion that took me like 4 tries because he just kept hitting everyone.
Yeah,
I
we
think-
didn't like that one. The evil wall was bad. We
that
were
was
very
fine.
concerned for both of you in the plague fight. Because that spot can be deceptively hard to take down with only physical attacks with that party. But yeah, I think Antlion does probably win the award.
Yeah. I mean, I think the plague spot, the plague wasn't too bad because I think I had Berserk by then. All I had to do, no, I didn't.
No,
It was
you had
interesting.
a nice kamikaze at the beginning, which Twisted Flax had used up. There must have just been like maybe a loose kamikaze in a chest.
Yeah, I think it was
believe.
actually in
So
Cave Magnus there.
yeah, so like you got to set up with the kamikaze really nice, which was good. But Flax was using that kamikaze to try to finish off the aforementioned antlion a couple times, and did manage to make it through first try. But I think it was a little bit more dicey for him than it was.
Yeah,
for you.
I figured after I got Berserk, I could just try to make sure I live through the Four Fiends fight, and then just Berserk Sid, and he should be able to just tank the damage by then, because you only need, what, 4k damage?
Yeah, it's only 4K there.
I'm going to interject
so not
again
too bad, but
because that was a Luka key at the Murasame spot.
I mean that is the last spot. Of course it is. Poor Twisted Flax.
Moon's haunted.
Moon's haunted in a very
Yeah.
special way today.
It really is.
But you were, I'm sure you were not expecting for all of Go Mode to be in the Feymarch like it was.
Not at all.
Explain your mindset going into the Feymarch, and then explain your mindset coming out of the Feymarch for everybody watching.
Going in, like, before I went in, I was going to check everything else, because I'm like, with what I know down there, Octoman wouldn't be too bad as long as I can get some blinks up and get some attacks and to slow it down, so that wasn't going to be too bad. And then just getting double Quakes off with Rydia and Palom, I was like, I should be able to kill them all, so I'll go take those out real quick, and depending on what they give me, then I'll start on the moon. Because I think by then I had double experience going, so I was like, I'll just kind of go in ordering things.
Yeah, and then you came out of it with Go Mode. I'm sure you were definitely changing gears quite a bit after as a result of that.
I was going to do Mag Giant grind, then I went to the Coca-Cola shop and I was like, ooh, Sirens, I could just do this instead. This might be actually faster.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was pretty lucky to find there. But yeah, like having to switch gears like within just a couple seconds is really, really hard to do as a runner. I know anybody that's done a pressure-filled race like this can attest to that. So, you know, all things considered, you got from that point to the end of the seed pretty cleanly. And you did a lot better on the overworld as well. I think you were underground several minutes before Twisted Flax was. Even though I think you did take maybe the first wipe, but overall, you were able to get through that root overworld a lot more cleanly.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, getting those stack of mute arrows in the beginning really helped out. Like, that was able to let me kill Maga Sisters, Ashura, so I got really lucky on Evil Wall, barely killing him before I think Sid got petrified.
Yeah, we saw you. There was your characters had lost quite a bit of color by the time that fight was over. So
It was really spooky. But honestly, other than that, it was just that antlion that was going to give me problems. But I figure with enough levels, you can just beat him down afterwards.
yeah, and I mean, you got through all of that stuff pretty cleanly, like we were saying, and then you didn't have to deal with the DKC at the King Queen spot. You just had to deal with them at the Rubicon spot, which honestly was probably a blessing after how awful that overworld was.
A little bit. I'm actually glad I was there, and I'm glad I had Sid just high enough to live with, like, what, 100 health?
Yeah, you got through it just fine. It would have been, you probably could have done it with a Sid at that level if it had been at the King's Queen spot, but it would have required a lot more resources and probably battle speed 5 or 6.
I want to chime in again. That was Golbez at Sealed Cave.
It's so bad.
Oh.
I'm so glad I ignored all of this.
Hey, you got the rare not haunted Feymarch in twice so.
Yeah.
So you're 2 and 4. League is over, presumably for you, Locke.
Yeah.
Hope you had a good time. Hope you had fun. Any thoughts on the format or just the experience on the whole for you?
It was a lot of fun, honestly. I'm really glad I went 2 and 4. I figured I was going to go like 1 and 5, 0 and 6, but I'll take 2 wins, you know? because Among Us and a whole bunch of other things came out, I didn't practice as much as I should have because I spent 8 hours just killing my friends and lying to them. Like almost every day.
I know that has been making the rounds on a certain free enterprise streamers Discord, and I wake up to like 5 pings every morning from people playing that into the wee hours of the morning. Zoe, you don't know anything about that, do you?
I'm not sorry.
You're sus, Zoe. You're totally sus.
I'm very sus. I've put like 69 hours in that game, and that's not just a meme number at this point.
Same. Same.
So aside from presumably some more Among Us for you, Locke, anything else you got going on? You excited for more free enterprise or other stuff going on?
So starting next Monday on the 19th, the Link to the Past Rando League is starting, where it's the 32 different teams going head to head over the next 7 weeks in 7 different modes, I believe. I will be in that as well with my team, and we're going to try and actually make it to the playoffs this year. This league. It's not really this year because the other league was in February. This time. There you go. We'll go with this time.
That sounds like a familiar kind of schedule. So, well, cool. Well, good luck with that. I know that you came to our randomizer by way of that Z3R community. So, I know that they're very different games in a lot of ways, but randomizer skills are very transferable, and I know that you've done a really good job proving that at both of our events this year, actually.
Thank you. Yeah, for the next one, I'm gonna come back stronger than ever. I'll go further. Just gonna keep trucking on, keep doing what I can.
Well, I know for a fact, as someone who, I admittedly did not follow everything from beginning to end of this round of 32 super closely once I had absorbed a bunch of losses and knew that I wasn't going to be moving on. But I know that you, from the experiences I've seen this year, you're a really good player, and I would definitely do not ever want to have to face you in any kind of event or anything like that. So
thank you. I try my best. I knew, even going into this match, even though I was 1-4, I'm like, I'm not just gonna not do anything. I'm gonna try my actual best to get through this. So, and I'm glad it worked out for me.
Yeah, for sure. And the everybody in the league there's been such good sportsmanship all throughout, and it's been nice to see. Thank you for the music encore, by the way. I'm not sure if Ground has switched the audio over to that, but it's a really good twin harp song that we got to see from both of you. And
yeah, it was by on the way out.
We had a good time. It was the only race of the night, and we wanted to have a good time. So appreciate you sharing your race with us, and good luck to you in the future here.
Yeah, thank you for restreaming the race. Thank you for commenting over. I'll have to watch this one back later tonight. But yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Zoe, you got anything else for Locke before we watch Twisted Flax finish this thing off and take out all of his rage on Carmen Sandiego, presumably?
Nothing besides GG. It was wonderful to watch you throughout the tournament, and I look forward to seeing more of you in the future, and best of luck with the Z3R League.
Thank you very much. And, I'm excited to just walk through a lot of matches because I also didn't really watch a whole lot, so I have things to do for the next while. But yeah, thank you again. I will see everyone later.
Thank you, Locke. GG's again. All right, that was LockeColeLive, and Twisted Flax is in go mode. Let's get some hype. Let's get some let's cheer Twisted Flax across the finish line here, y'all. Let's go.
Now,
I'm pretty sure this was a 28 out of 28.
Now, I want to point out that Twisted Flax is going to probably look at the Cool shop and might have some war flashbacks because he's going to see some Leviathan summons there.
Oh no. I thought you were going to say something about the sirens. I totally forgot the Leviathan summons. Oh, okay. Zoe, well, I would die laughing if Twisted Flax sold the farm and just bought every Leviathan summon in that shop.
Oh, that'd be the best.
That
would be the best.
I would salute you, Twisted Flax. I know it's not going to happen, but I in my imagination, it's happening right now, and I am so happy. Doesn't check the shop. Let's get that crystal. Let's get up on out of here, Twisted Flax. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. Still has to do the magma key. I
Yeah.
was like, why did we not just get a crystal? Oh, yeah.
But we'll get the wonderful text box again.
Oh, nope. There you go. Yep.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
have your crystal yet. Yeah, we've been there.
No, I think that was more of a case of, right, I need to go to Agert. Where's Agert? Oh, right, I just came out next to Agert. Stop pressing A. Well, that's gone. But we have our crystal.
Now, Zoe, remind me. I'm trying to remember. Because I know this has been a really long run, and we've watched, unfortunately, Twisted Flax go clear everything on the Earth except for the stuff that they needed to finish the seed. I believe Twisted Flax was the winner of the jungle hook play. Is that correct?
Ooh, I can find out. Twisted Flax got in hook play in 1, so not the big one, but the first one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the second one was Dathus. But yeah,
Dathus
Twisted.
got in the second one.
So let's just talk for a second really quick while Twisted Flax is walking to Zeromus and just acknowledge how incredibly difficult that was to come through the hook route after, I'm sure, a really difficult preliminary round, get the wins that he needed, and then win I believe that first hook play-in had, I want to say 8 or 9 people in it.
Yeah, it was, I think it may have even been like more than that. I can't remember the exact number. I'd have to go back and look.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot for one spot. Scala says, hold on, so Scala might be getting it for us.
Yeah.
But before I miss my chance, I'm going to make my joke that I was going to make before, and I forgot.
Let's go.
So we referenced a certain band earlier, and I just wanted to let everyone know that in case you had forgotten, that every Zeromus fight starts with one thing, and it's the crystal.
I don't know why. But no, I just want to acknowledge that Twisted Flax has had an incredible league. Went through some really challenging matches, really challenging situations. Qualified through that hook route, which I know nobody was particularly excited about the prospect of ending up in that situation, but he was able to get through that. And then on top of that, was in a position to advance to the round of 16 potentially. I mean, I think, Zoe, we were talking about it a little bit beforehand. It wasn't just going to be win and in. Twisted Flax did need some other stuff to go his way, which may or may not have happened. But to get a 2-4 record in the league after coming through the hook route and winning one of those hook play-ins is just an incredible accomplishment. And I want to keep that in mind here as we watch Twisted Flax finishing this seed up here.
Yeah, Twisted Flax at the start of the day, there was a 12.5% probability that he was going to advance. I think or maybe that was yesterday. I can't remember. Either way, he still had some chances, and but it would have needed some help. This was definitely not a win and in, because strength of schedule is a very complicated and fickle thing. I know there's a few racers that have rather low strength of schedules, which definitely wasn't expected based off who was on their schedule. So.
Yeah, I contributed to that a little bit. My bad, everybody.
Just a little bit. I personally didn't have you going 0-6. I had you in my bracketology.
Well, you weren't alone, and it's just one of those things. It's just a testament to how many good people are in this league. So
yeah,
we have an incredible community of players. So yep. But yeah, let's watch Twisted Flax. Looks like we're getting some reflect strats here. Reflecting a bunch of nukes off that Sid right into the mugshot of Carmen Sandiego Miss. So.
Yeah.
I don't think this Z fight is going to take particularly long to finish up.
I do not think so. I think we'll get probably 2.5 rounds of nukes, and then we'll be done. So
sounds about right. Sid getting in there. You know, Carmen is already very red, and then see her light up from those nukes. It's just, you know, doesn't really... She looks good in a nuke, I gotta say.
she does.
And I feel like if I was fighting Carmen Sandiego Miss, I would definitely want to cast slow on her as many times as possible as well to prevent her escaping.
Yeah, we don't want to need her running away. We don't want to have to go on
I
a
think
hunt
the last
for-
thing Twisted Flax wants right now is to answer a bunch of trivia questions.
Yeah, and like, I mean, if she does get away, then we'll unlock the secret lore that the Carmen Sandiego video game is actually a sequel to Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise.
Suddenly I want to do a big Carmen Sandiego style geography quiz for all of the locations in Final Fantasy IV.
Oh, I'd be in. I would love that.
Listen up, gumshoes.
That was a decently high roll there.
Yeah, the thing is at this point, you just don't need too much to finish this fight. Probably just another nuke or two. So hopefully can get up another. Yeah, we got some Star Veils still here.
Yeah, if we can get up one Star Veil, get one reflected nuke off, and I think a direct nuke would finish it. An illusion's not going to help you. Mismenus are sometimes hilarious, but they're very understandable nonetheless.
Yep, Rydia's like, can't big bang what you can't see.
Only that worked. Only.
We're still gonna get there. It's fine.
Yeah, this nuke and the white queued up, even if this big man comes out and takes out Rydia, I think the white will do it. And there we go.
Doop-doop-doo-wop. GG's to Twisted Flax.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Bus.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we got Twisted Flax in here for an interview. GG's, Twisted Flax.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna lead in with a quick question before I let Blaze take over. Similar question I had for Locke about the grind. Why did you grind so long?
Well, I wanted to get Rydia up to nuke levels, and I think after getting the 10 key items, I only needed 16 map giants. So I figured that was doable, so I did it. And also for a side benefit, I knew I would probably get Palom up to level, whatever level it is, 64 or something, where it becomes 28 agility. I didn't have to worry about a danger at that point.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, I think just all throughout that seed, we were watching both you and Locke. I think there were a couple things that really stood out. The biggest thing was just that was, as far as just the straight overworld, like the hook route was like a welcome change of pace after how awful that overworld was. So just your thoughts on that early game. You didn't have a lot of good options for party members or equipment, and there were just so many rude bosses out there.
There certainly were. Normally when you have a Cid with a poison axe and you've got a Rosa, you're feeling pretty all right. You feel you can pretty much take on the overworld at that point. The problem was I saw 0 bows. No bows anywhere. I don't know if you remember, I looked around the shops I overlooted a bit. I could not find a good weapon, and it actually just became a matter of attrition almost. And you don't really want to go into Cave Magnus until you have a really good melee setup. And so I thought I was taking a pretty big risk, but I was kind of running out of options. Luckily, it was Plague, and I didn't really have to worry about DPS too much because I was never going to die to that fight. I could just grind it out, and it eventually led me to the hook route. And once I got to the hook route and I saw the relatively easy bosses waiting for me, I'm like, okay, finally, we can get this seat on the road.
Yeah, and it wasn't just you either. Locke was not able to get any kind of traction whatsoever in that early grind. He even went and looted Castle Eblin and still could not find anything that was more useful than a poison axe to get through some of that early game. So there wasn't a huge difference. I would say the couple things that really did propel Locke ahead and honestly probably kept him on Earth to finish everything up was checking the Feymarch and finding that Darkness Crystal right away, and just kind of knowing that was there. And then Dwarf Castle, he checked Dwarf Castle very early, got that edge, got that adamant, and I think both of those things really incentivized him to just finish clearing out the Earth before doing anything else. And obviously, I mean, you saw how that Feymarch went. I'm sure when he did the Feymarch, which was the last thing he did on Earth, we talked to him. He said that he was just like, okay, I might as well just clear this before I go up to the moon because I can. I don't think he thought he was going to be walking out of there with go mode, and that was pretty lucky for him. And it was totally understandable as well why you made the routing decisions that you made.
Right. When I picked up that crystal, I think it was exactly my 10th key item. So I thought, okay, got my crystal. Let's get the party up. Let's get this, get back up to end game levels. I can zoom through the rest of the seed. And I went down to the underworld afterwards, cleared out everything but Feymarch. I'm thinking, okay, I've got 2 checks in Feymarch down there that are summon bosses, so they're not as prioritized. And I have 7 checks up in the moon. And I thought, okay, chances are something on the moon is going to lead me, whether it's the Luga key leading into one of the last items, or just finding both the Legend Sword and the Magma key up there. I thought that was probably a better shot because I had the power to take on the moon. And I completely understand the routing choice if you don't have that power to just clear out the underworld and then focus on your grind. And in this case, it worked out well for him. And this was a nasty seed. GG to him.
Yeah, I think that it was very exciting for us to see it, but then also very heartbreaking for us when we saw you go to the moon, just sort of knowing that wasn't going to play out for you under any situation. So but it is what it is. That is the luck of the draw and the randomizer and whatnot. So I appreciate you coming on in here and sharing your race with us tonight. I know that you are 2-4, so I believe eliminated from contention in the league, and just want to kind of get your thoughts on the league as a whole. I know you had a pretty crazy journey to get to this point, coming through the hook route and everything. So, what are your thoughts and reflections on the league, looking back on it now?
I played a lot of races during this league. I had to go through the hook route and survive that, and to even make it this far after starting my group stages way back in August, 0-2, is something I didn't really even think was going to be possible. I thought I was pretty much dead in the water at that point. So, looking back, I'm fairly happy with how I did. Obviously, things could have gone better. I could have gotten a little luckier, but on the other hand, I could have played better. So I really have no complaints, and I really want to thank everyone who's involved in putting on the tournament, as well as everyone who has restreamed and provided me and so many others with so many hours of entertainment.
Well, thank you as well, and yeah, really appreciate it. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun for all of us on all sides of the broadcast here and the races. So, Zoe, you were going to say though? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, well, thank you. I was going to basically mimic exactly what you said. It's always a pleasure watching you race, and your contributions to this community outside of the race itself are not insignificant. Helping compile the data for the eCan't Run grind charts is very welcome, and I know that myself and many of the other runners in this tournament will have thanked you for that. And I will say the same thing I said to Locke. I look forward to seeing where you go next and what you do next time.
Thank you very much. I do want to throw in one final thing. I do want to apologize for the to the tournament team for. I honestly feel a little bit guilty for making that grind chart because I believe the original intention was to get people away from the D Machine grind, the Mac Giant grind, trying to branch these out, and I feel bad that it kind of forced the meta back to those things.
I wasn't gonna say it, so I'm glad you did. No, this was fun. It was interesting to have that resource available, and you know what? That's just the ingenuity of this community and the people that make it up. So you don't have anything to apologize for.
Yeah, it pushed the community to do something slightly different in the way the grind is set up, and also the different grinds and manips that were found through it are going to be beneficial for a long time to come. So.
Oh, great! Thank you very much for everything. Thanks for tonight for restreaming. I want to shout out Groundflyer and Chasman behind the scenes as well for doing great job with everything. And I might not get back to watching this VOD like I usually do. Like I usually like to watch it pretty soon afterwards to get a feel for how I play, because I think this one's going to hurt watching back.
Oh, at least watch when you pull the 2 Levias out of Ribbon Room, because the reactions in the booth were priceless.
If you don't want to watch the whole VOD, we highlighted that because it was so memorable.
I
don't want to say funny. It was memorable.
I seriously wonder if everyone could hear the choice words I said as soon as I saw that second Leviathan.
Well, thank you so much, and shout outs to both our runners. Give them a follow if you enjoyed their racing. They're fantastic. You won't be disappointed. And shout outs to our behind the scenes members, Groundflyer, Chazman, and obviously Moonblaze Wolf, dealing with my shenanigans as many other commentators have had to do up to this point.
Zoe, this was fun. Thank you so much for doing commentary. And yeah, thank you to the entire team. It was our one race tonight. I feel like we made it count, and we definitely got our money's worth for everybody who enjoys free enterprise tonight.
Yeah, and speaking of, we are going to go on a raid, but our raid target is pretty sus, so when y'all get there, I want to make sure everyone keeps eyes on him, make sure he's doing tasks, because we're going to go raid him Venerable. And make sure he's not faking things. But in the meantime, we will be back tomorrow. I said it earlier. We are going to be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern here on this channel. You'll hear my voice again for the Eisentayama and a Stone Dingley race. But in the meantime, I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Take care.
Goodbye, y'all.